Apocalypse vs Superman, who is stronger and who would win in a fight. Apocalypse, also known as En Sabah Nur, is one of the most powerful mutants in the Marvel Universe. He possesses abilities such as superhuman strength, durability, telepathy, shape-shifting, and the ability to manipulate his own molecular structure. He can also absorb the powers of other mutants, making him even more formidable. Superman from DC Comics has a range of powers including superhuman strength, speed, flight, heat vision, and invulnerability. His abilities are often enhanced by exposure to yellow sunlight. But before we dive into the analysis, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications by clicking the bell icon. In terms of raw power, both Superman and Apocalypse rank among the most powerful individuals in their respective universes. Superman's superior strength and incredible speed give him a major advantage in direct confrontations. However, Apocalypse's ability to absorb and adapt to energy could level the playing field, especially if he exploits Superman's weaknesses. If the battle takes place under yellow sunlight, Superman's power would be at its peak, but if Apocalypse has enough time to prepare and strategize, he could devise a sophisticated plan to counter Superman. Apocalypse has always been one of the X-Men's most fearsome enemies thanks to his vast array of abilities, making him a dangerous opponent for the team. His superior skills include immortality, superhuman speed and durability, psychic powers, telepathy, telekinesis, technopathy, molecular manipulation, biological transformation, regeneration, size alteration, and energy absorption. Although this arsenal of abilities is indeed impressive, it does not make Apocalypse invincible. Powerful entities like Magneto have shown that with the right strategy and matching strength, defeating Apocalypse is entirely possible. Some may argue that Apocalypse could easily drain Superman's solar energy as he has done with other enemies, but this is not entirely true. Apocalypse would not know how Superman's powers work as they are from completely different worlds and have never encountered each other. Apocalypse's physical strength is impressive, able to withstand Jarnjorn, a weapon considered equal to or even superior to Thor's Mjolnir. However, when facing Superman, this ability offers little advantage. Superman is strong enough to defeat Mageddon. Mageddon is essentially a godly weapon created by ancient deities with the purpose of destroying all of creation, including the existence of gods and angels in heaven. The threat posed by Mageddon was so great that even the angels in heaven planned to abandon this universe and prepare for the creation of a new one. Superman faced that, and he still stood firm, something not many could do. Mageddon not only attacked physically but also mentally, incapacitating even the strongest telepaths, including angels and gods, the main sources of Apocalypse's power, who were rendered completely powerless against him. In fact, Mageddon posed an existential threat on a planetary and even greater scale. While Apocalypse is considered a major threat to the X-Men and possibly some other heroes on Earth, Mageddon is a threat on a cosmic scale, opposing the entire Divine Order and the universe itself. During his battle with Mageddon, Superman destroyed a destroyer monitor. These destroyer monitors were constructed on a nanoscopic scale from the perspective of higher-level entities, with each one formed from a fragment of the bleed. Remarkably, a single destroyer monitor had enough power to destroy 52 major universes in the multiverse, highlighting the unimaginable scope of the threat to all existence. Superman not only destroyed the enemy's entire universe annihilating missile system, but also defeated Darkseid in his true form. Darkseid, a being on a multiversal level, had previously battled and been bested by the Anti-Monitor, another multiversal entity. But when he faced Superman, Darkseid suffered devastating defeats. In both confrontations, Superman struck Darkseid down in his own kingdom and world, meaning there was no boom tube for Darkseid to reduce his size or power to enter the multiverse as an avatar. This affirms that Darkseid was fully engaged in these battles. And even when Darkseid possessed the power of Soulfire, making him extremely dangerous, Superman still proved capable of defeating this formidable foe. Superman's ability to confront and defeat Darkseid in his own territory cemented his reputation as one of the strongest heroes in the universe. The Apocalypse is not as powerful as he might seem, and I would argue that classifying him as a galaxy breaker is an overestimation, even with celestial technology. He has struggled when facing the X-Men and has often been regarded as on par with Magneto in terms of power. Even if we elevate Apocalypse to a galaxy-level threat, he still cannot compare to Superman, who has proven himself through feats that far surpass universal limits. Superman has fought Nebula Man, a living entity representing an entire universe, and even defeated him. He also faced Darkseid when he attained the power of the Source itself, turning Darkseid into an amplified entity capable of challenging the source of power, standing on par with Multiversal Extreme. Yet, even when Darkseid reached that ultimate power, Superman was still able to brutally defeat him, using sheer strength to take down true Darkseid. These extraordinary feats further cement Superman's superior position in the universe. Essentially, this means that if Apocalypse were to challenge Superman in a balanced battle, Apocalypse would undoubtedly have a very bad day. If Superman can fly through a red sun which drains his energy and navigate an asteroid belt full of kryptonite while still continuing to fight, I firmly believe he could withstand Apocalypse's energy-draining abilities. Furthermore, Apocalypse's energy absorption capabilities should not be overstated, as there's no evidence suggesting he can absorb energy infinitely or instantly drain all of an opponent's power in a single moment. This clearly sets limits on how Apocalypse can realistically challenge Superman, and in this case, the advantage leans towards Superman with his superior abilities. What I mean is, yes, Apocalypse has been able to keep up with Quicksilver, but in terms of speed, Superman is on par with Zoom, which says a lot. In other words, Superman easily outshines Apocalypse and has faced characters even stronger than him, such as Darkseid, the Phantom Stranger, and Shazam. While Apocalypse has battled powerful figures in the Marvel Universe, including the X-Men and the Inhumans, that's not enough to place him on Superman's level. Apocalypse may be able to absorb energy attacks like Cyclops blasts, so he might withstand Superman's heat vision to some extent, but aside from that ability, Apocalypse doesn't really have many advantages. Despite facing formidable opponents, he doesn't have a long record of impressive victories. There's no doubt that Apocalypse is an extremely powerful opponent, but Superman regularly faces gods and immortal beings, which makes his power far exceed that of Apocalypse. Apocalypse has faced Iceman, who has ice-controlling abilities far surpassing Superman's freeze breath. He's also dealt with Quicksilver, a character with time-manipulating powers, using Rama-Tut's technology. This Apocalypse can rebirth and undergo long cycles of regeneration, becoming stronger with each awakening. With the ability to easily lift over 100 tons, Apocalypse is certainly a formidable adversary. However, Superman's strength is not just physical, it's truly extraordinary. His abilities quite literally seem limitless. In All-Star Superman, Clark Kent lifted 200 million tons, but even that staggering number wasn't his true limit. Superman's power far exceeds any milestone we can imagine. Apocalypse possesses more abilities than Superman, and it is said that he hasn't even fully tapped into his potential. As a villain who often defeats entire teams of superheroes rather than individuals, Apocalypse regularly takes down groups like the X-Men. If you believe Superman can defeat Apocalypse, then you're also implying Superman could defeat the X-Men, since Apocalypse has been considered on par with Nate Gray under the judgment of the King of Shadow. Notably, Apocalypse's ability to regenerate means that even if he were destroyed, he could return. He has survived attacks from celestial entities using technology and weapons far beyond conventional power, including the destruction formula, a weapon considered the Celestials' version of the ultimate nullifier, capable of turning everything into absolute nothingness. This demonstrates Apocalypse's overwhelming power and resilience, making him one of the most challenging enemies in the Marvel Universe. Apocalypse has plans to absorb the powers of the strongest mutants, which would grant him near-divine abilities to reshape the world according to his will. Many of the 12 mutants Apocalypse targeted were members of the X-Men, and they banded together to thwart his plan. During the process of absorbing the powers of the 12, Cyclops, rather than Nate Gray, Apocalypse's primary target, was merged with Apocalypse. Unable to control the massive energy flow from Cyclops, Apocalypse was forced to abandon that power, retreat, and escape, abandoning his grand mission, though Cyclops' body appeared to have been destroyed in the process. Magneto, the master of magnetism, can manipulate the materials around him, which could potentially be a vulnerability for Superman if those elements existed in the universe where they met. But with Magneto being an Omega-level mutant, his power could be overwhelming. Moreover, Magneto's goal is to protect mutant kind at all costs, which might conflict with Superman's broader philosophy. Apocalypse was expelled from Cyclops' body thanks to the powerful psychic abilities of Jean Grey, and then Cable used his telepathic powers to destroy Apocalypse's essence. However, Apocalypse didn't truly die and sought to resurrect himself in a tomb in Aqaba. Upon being reborn, he began recruiting new horsemen, including Gazer, Sunfire, and Polaris. Even Gambit attempted to infiltrate Apocalypse's ranks as a spy for the X-Men, but ended up having his will bent and being transformed by him. As Apocalypse's power reached its peak once again, he prepared to confront Superman, who posed a serious threat with his extraordinary abilities. However, given Superman's superior speed, the weapons or powers Apocalypse possesses would hardly be able to stop him. Superman could destroy Apocalypse's universe-annihilating missiles and even his most dangerous weapons. So if Apocalypse decided to face Superman in a fair duel, his fate would certainly be a crushing defeat. What do you think? Let us know your opinions. Thanks for watching. That's the video for today, and we'll leave it here. Thank you very much.